Yeah, I was. It's very good that the clinicians spoke first and saving me a lot of the background information on COVID, what it is, how you get it, as you can see, the droplets. What I wanted to show in terms of pathogenesis, the disease, is that the virus comes, especially for the lung disease, it comes all the way down to your lungs. And this is your alveolar, for example. When the virus comes down, the virus replicating here and causing inflammation makes it difficult for oxygen to go in and out from the blood vessel into your alveolar space. And because of that, the difficult breathing you were hearing is caused by by what happened inside the alveolar here. There are cells there, pneumocytes, epithelial cells, that allow oxygen to diffuse into the blood vessel and carbon dioxide to come out. That is what is responsible for the difficulty in breathing. You've heard about the treatment, the clinicians do the treatment. What you also heard is that there is no magic bullet yet. Clinical trials are going on. Okay, you've heard also some of the prevention methods, the social distancing, don't congregate in groups. Yeah, as I was saying, you already heard about no grouping, and you should be washing your hand on a regular basis. So that is how we will solve this. So what I wanted to draw your attention today, as all these are going on, is this screen relating to the cases in Africa versus cases elsewhere. You can see, I wanted you to see this is the population of the world, and the number of cases as of today, and the number of deaths. You can see we have but it has been between 3 and 5% as far as global death rate is. You can see Nigeria, we've been monitoring Nigeria, it has gone from 1.5 to 2%. It has remained there. Most of the death rates, I was hoping that the clinicians can help us with this. I understand one issue, that our testing rates are very poor. However, among the cases identified, the death rate has not been over 2% in most of the African countries. However, look at most of the European countries. Even global, total global death rate has been above 3%. As I said, has been between 3 and 5% for the past several months. The United States has been 5%, 6% for a while because of a lot of cases now. I think the percentage has dropped relative to the number of cases, but we still have a substantial, about 100, and we are going towards 200,000 deaths here in the United States. In the UK, you can see the death rate, most over 10%. It has remained that. Most of the European countries, you can see the death rates very high. I don't know how to explain that. These death rates have not been calculated on the traditional cases. I calculated this death rate on the number of cases that were diagnosed. And if you look at it, there is an unusual death rate in Europe. I don't know how to explain it, but it's something of interest that may be relevant in future. Now, where does Africa, considering this background, where does Africa fall into in terms of how to control this disease, this pandemic in future? It's a viral infection. Among the microorganisms, the virus is pretty small. It's a semi-living. Don't listen to people who tell you that the virus is not a living thing. It's semi-living. It's just that it has everything to replicate itself. It's just that it needs an environment. There are even some bacteria that are obligate intracellular, we call them. They need a host cell before they can divide. So the virus is an obligate intracellular particle that requires the host cell to divide. And it is one of the microorganisms. You cannot say a microorganism is not a living thing. So the two can't go together. So the virus is something that can really cause you problem, can hurt you. And the virus that is the cause of COVID-19 is one of them. How do you control it now and the future? Because there are several of them out there. From the last talk, I made you understand, unlike what you hear, that the virus was genetically produced. It is not true. Sequencing work, relatedness of this virus to bad coronavirus, there are so many ways that people have used to show that the virus that causes COVID-19 it was not genetically produced in the laboratory. It is a cousin of the bad coronaviruses that are transmitted through other intermediates to human beings. So the virus is not connected with 5G waves. It is not true, and the virus can infect both the poor and the rich. As I said the last time, we should leave conspiracy theories relating to Bill Gates and Fauci out of COVID-19. Epidemiologists, some of the clinicians are epidemiologists who can predict based on sequencing and disease pattern what is likely to happen in the next 20, 50 years, even 100 years time. Those things are very predictable based on how the ecology, the mutation rate. There are so many factors you can put together and make sound predictions. Some of them work like crazy. So don't listen to people telling you that there is a grand conspiracy. The other point to make is that we must be careful about cure claims. You've heard about Madagascar and a number of other cure claims people have touted everywhere. It's any cure claim that has no bearing on what the physician just told you. One, ability to prevent the replication of the virus. Two, control the symptoms is questionable. Make me feel good treatments. Okay, maybe you take them supplements and you feel good, fine. But when you have an infectious disease, the approach is one, kill the infectious agent, two, control the symptoms. And those are the things, some of the names that were mentioned, some of the anti-inflammatory agents, some of the antiviral agents that you've heard. Those are the ways that this virus will be controlled. So the point, therefore, is that COVID is not under control in Africa, despite the apparent, let me call it, quote unquote, it appears that our continent, based on the table I just showed you, are low. At the same time, testing are very few. There is no definitive cure for the coronavirus that causes COVID-19 yet. So everybody is in the race. Everybody around the world is in the race, both in the private sector, the academia, and the public sector. Everybody is on the race. I do not know if any of you is aware whether some of our traditional medicines can cure COVID. It would be good if we can find something, at least Africa will contribute to the vaccines or the therapeutics. How Africans will make this contribution, I am not sure, but we should be conscious of it. We are part of this world. The Africans cannot just be dumping ground for technology, finish science, and the rest of it. We should be part of the generation, part of the upstream events that lead to solutions. We cannot just be users. So if you look at, for example, the vaccines that are out there, vaccines are being produced in different ways. Vaccine can be produced by inactivating virus, by different ways. All the vaccines you've heard, there are different ways you can have the virus, you can have the vector, you can have the protein. There are several ways you are going to get vaccine. However, right now, you can see the countries that are in the front line and the role of the public sector, the academia, and the private sector and industry. You can see North America is leading the pack with a lot of investment in vaccines. Most of them are at different stages of development, but there is no vaccine yet. The point, therefore, is what will Africa contribute to solution? You and I can think about the thinker, like this guy here, the Greek philosopher here. We need to have a place on the table. That is the little I wanted to add, that as a scientist, I will be very happy to see if somewhere in Africa there are. I read something that South Africa was making some efforts, but we'll see. It's maybe they may be collaborating with some people in the United States or Europe to do things, but I'm not aware of any specific research, scientific work relating to controlling this virus, prevent it from replication, or serious cure that is out there. I have told my brother Dan Elombah, the producer of this program, that there is a need for us to continue to probe ourselves to say, how do we contribute to civilization, especially at this time? Yes, there were a lot of contributions Africa made historically, but today is today. We are facing this challenge today. How can we be part of the solution to COVID-19? Your guess is as good as mine. Thank you very much.